Today we're going to be tempering chocolate. I'm working with a 66% dark chocolate couverture. It's our Van Leer brand, comes from Callebaut. It's a very good all-around chocolate. So what I've done to start was melted chocolate over a double boiler. I started with about 50% of my total chocolate that I wanted melted. I did that because if you try to melt too much too quickly, it actually takes longer. So you start with a little bit, and once it's melted, you add more. You do that for two reasons. It causes the chocolate to kind of melt down a little bit, and then it causes the chocolate that you just added to cool down that block, that mass of chocolate in there. A goal to a good temper, one of the goals to achieve a good temper is to stir constantly over low heat. Never have your pot of chocolate on the stove and over an open flame while you have chocolate on top of it. After removing the chocolate from the heat source, wipe the bottom to remove any water. Even though we talk about tempering chocolate, temperature has very little to actually do with it, the word tempering. But we did bring this up to a maximum temperature of 118 degrees. And we're going to drop it down to 82 degrees to temper it, and then raise it up again to 88 degrees to work with it. Once your bowl, are you ready?
Yeah.
Once your bowl of chocolate is completely melted, you can add your tempering block. This is a block of couverture chocolate, same as the Van Leer. I made this a few days ago, and this is just a solid block of chocolate. I'm going to be constantly stirring the chocolate up and around to further cool the temperature down, but also to start the seeding method. When you're tempering chocolate, you're trying to achieve proper crystallization of the cocoa butter. You're trying to get fine and regular crystallization and not irregular crystallization. A good tempered chocolate will set up quickly. A good tempered chocolate will look shiny and have a very pleasant snap. Untempered chocolate may just sit there in a pool and may never actually set up for a few hours. It will look grainy, it will look dull, and it will not have a snap. It will be very pliable. You can remelt untempered chocolate and start the process over again. But if you do, always add fresh chocolate. So the block in the chocolate has started setting up this chocolate. It's cooled down the temperature, and it started the crystallization process. Cocoa butter is actually 5 different fats that melts and solidifies at 5 different temperatures, which is why you get a varying degree of chocolate liquidity. Right now, we're starting to see some of the crystallization happening just by how it leaves trails. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. There are 2 enemies to chocolate. That's excessive heat and moisture. Whenever you're tempering chocolate, always keep your heat sources away from it and try to only use steam to melt your chocolate in the use of a double boiler. And you want to keep your bowl of chocolate free of any contaminants, because that will affect your final product. As you can see, the chocolate has gotten a lot more viscous, a lot thicker, starts to hold its trail. So now it's time to test. You can also notice that some of the chocolate along the side of the bowl started to set up. That's a really good sign that your chocolate is getting close. Using a small piece of paper, parchment paper, take a little chocolate and put it on a cool part of the table. That's cooler. If that chocolate sets up within a minute or so, then it's ready to go. Continue stirring your chocolate while you're waiting for your test sample to set up. In order to check temperature, take a tasting spoon and put it to the bottom part of your bottom lip. It should feel cool.
Does it?
It does. Tempering chocolate is a process that you really can't walk away from unless you have a tempering machine. It needs to be stirred constantly. You can start the process of it melting and then work on another project and then come back to it after it's melted. But once you've started the seeding part, the tempering part, you need to really stay with it and stirring it constantly. You won't achieve a good temper otherwise. So these are the 3 tempering tests that I did. This one was the first, this is the second, and this is the third. You can see the first one is a little grainy and a little streaky. The second one is a little bit less